anybody who is scared to get first house, don't think, I would say, too much. Get into it. It's like swimming. You can't sit outside and learn swimming, right? You have to get in the water. So
Oh,
thing,
so good.
it's same thing here. You have to get your first property.
Hey, this is Niti, and what you're about to hear today is a very special episode with one of the members from our portfolio program.
We call these Sensei Sessions. These interviews are designed to give you perspective about what you can achieve with the right strategies and execution.
I hope you enjoy this episode, and for free resources, check out our show notes section to see how you can build and scale your portfolio.
I want to introduce you today to Heta and Mehul, and I want to start out by just getting an idea of what you do for a day job and where you live. Let's just kind of start there so people can get an idea of, who the two of you are. And I love also, by the way, I just love the fact that you're working on this together. I think that's so cool. All right, so who wants to go first?
We are based in Atlanta. It's actually Alpharetta, suburb of Atlanta. We both are in a corporate company working on IT side. So
Nice.
Full-time job, 8 to 5 or more than that.
And what was it about real estate that got the both of you interested?
She really wants to quit her W2 job.
So, for a long time, I was thinking that, I don't want to do whatever I'm doing for the rest of my life. I want to do something different. And I always used to tell him that, maybe I don't have any specialty skills like, singing, or I don't know anything like, any, piano or something where I can go and teach or do something with that. And I was always thinking like that, and was looking for something which I can do. And one day I was just looking at my Facebook and saw Palak's video, and got inspired that, this is something, let me try to just sign up for that 5-day session. And I did it, and, then I was very impressed. So I asked him, I think you should also look into this. And I know he also wanted to do real estate, not this way, but just buy property. We did have one property before, so he wanted to do it for a long time. I was like, this is a better way for us. Maybe see if that helps, like, you decide, like, that we both.
We purchased commercial property 5 years ago, but the problem was scaling was issue. Putting 30% down payment as a new LLC and all that was taking a lot of money out of our bank, right? So we were looking for something we can scale easily. And when she found this and I looked at it, we were like, okay, let's give it a try.
I love how the two of you are working together on this, so that, you have a different idea about how you wanted to go about it, but then you're actually working on this together. And we have, a lot of couples actually in our community that are doing that. Ann and Randy come to mind. Vanessa and her husband, I know, come to mind as well. There are many. And so I think it's powerful. I think it's wonderful. So
it really helps two people working together when you have really, like, full-time job to do, and on side you are doing this, so we can divide work and scale this quickly.
Divide and conquer. So before we talk about where you're investing, we were talking about this before we got on the call. Can you give us just an estimate of your portfolio value right now?
We just closed 4th property last week. So including that, it's around 900K right now. Our goal was 1 million, but looks like we are going to miss that this year.
That's too bad. I'm just kidding. Congratulations. Congratulations. So, all right. That means you've got a lot to share with us and a lot to help us understand the path that you took. Where are you investing in? Are all your 4 properties in one place?
Yes, we are in Chattanooga, Tennessee, investing in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
All right. How did you choose Chattanooga as a place to invest in?
I originally moved from India to Chattanooga And I lived there for 12 years. She lived with me for like 8 years over there. We were together, and it just 1.5 hours to 2 hours drive from where we live right now.
Yeah.
And since I have lived there for more than 12 years, I'm very familiar with all the areas. I have a lot of friends, and I knew few realtors over there from the past real estate investment in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
So it just comfort level. I decided I'll invest there, to start there. But definitely we have plans to expand in different cities next year.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Oh, go ahead, Heta.
Yeah, we did. Initially, we were looking at few locations, but we just ended up here because, as you say, comfort level that if we want, we can go once a month and check it out or something. So build up the confidence before going, managing it from far.
Yeah, we made offers initially in Rome, Georgia, Birmingham, but the first offer accepted was in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we did all the offers where we can drive just a couple of hours.
2 hours, within 2 hours
Within
drive.
2 hours.
I think for all of us, if we sort of take a look at our history, our past, and we look at where we've been, where we've lived, where we know people, it probably is a little, like, I think if you look at the map, it becomes very overwhelming. But I think if you really look at the past that you have, just like you did, you realize how much you really know about a city that you can tap into and all the relationships. So speaking of relationships, how did you find the people who could help you? And I'll say, you just said to us that you knew a lot of people in Chattanooga, which can be a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah.
It can be a good thing and a bad thing, I think. And I don't know what you're going to say, but I think I know why, because sometimes they don't have the same goals that you do. Like, they may be wanting to have you buy into a beautiful neighborhood, which is great, but maybe not exactly the thing that you're interested in. So how did you find the people that you trusted, your team in Chattanooga?
So I think the first thing I would say, maybe it was a coincidence at the time that, we were going through our modules. And we did have one property in Chattanooga before, residential, which we sold in 2020. Mm-hmm. So that realtor, when we worked, who helped us sell the property, we told her one time that, we have a plan, we want to invest more. So at the same time, she did, we were doing the module, and she reached out to Mehul that, I have this one property, are you interested in that? So
was timely reach
out.
Very timely. And that, I mean, right? And was it the kind of property that you wanted to get that was like a BRRRR type property, or what was it?
That time we were looking for turnkey rental. We had no idea about BRRRR.
Yeah.
But when she reached out, I said, I'm looking for something that I can rehab and then rent for long term and under 150K.
Yeah.
And that's how we started with that realtor. And then as we went further in the modules, went to bigger pockets and looked for investor-friendly realtor, and found another realtor and started working with that company, which didn't go quite well. Then came back to this first realtor and closed our first 2 houses with her.
Oh,
it's like a lot of back and forth.
Yeah. So this first realtor, I think she reached out to us for a turnkey property, and I think for her, this was new, right? So she has always done, turnkey property.
Primary residence.
Primary residence only. So we were when we were new, she didn't know. So we thought, if we will go with investor-friendly realtor, it would be better. And so we found
somebody who had closed like 90 deals last year. But seemed like she was dealing with multiple investors, and we were not probably her top priority, being a new client. And
it's a feeling that you get, and probably the service that you don't get also. So there's a little bit of that. And as you decided to go with the first one, even though she was new in this type of in investing for you, it just felt better. She was maybe more responsive.
Yeah.
I mean, after missing out few properties, we thought, what we need is, there was a lot of knowledge we gained from the modules and attending these meetings, right? So we know what we need to look for in our property. We knew what avatar we need, what we are looking for. So all we needed is somebody that can, immediately schedule appointment, look at the property, show the property to us via video call. And if I decide to move forward, then I needed somebody who can submit offer immediately.
Yeah, very quickly.
And
How
that's
did you
what
figure out
mattered for us.
Yeah, how did you figure out the neighborhood? I know that you know the area, but you probably had to give her some parameters. How did you decide which parameters to give her?
Right. So one of the zip code that we have 3 out of 4 properties that's on the list in the module. In the module, it says Atlanta, but it's actually Chattanooga zip code. So that's where we have 3 of our properties.
Wait, say that again. So it's in the module?
In the module, there is a list of zip code, right? Some in the document somewhere. I forgot what is it called. But it says
You just
Atlanta.
went to that one. You were just like, let me just use this one. Okay.
It says Atlanta, so I was curious, and then when I looked at the zip code, it was Chattanooga. I'm like, oh, this is not Atlanta zip code, but it's Chattanooga. And I saw there were so many rehabs going on in that area. So we decided to go with that. And we were open to any area in Chattanooga because all the areas in Chattanooga are good.
Yeah.
Nothing like
out there. Yeah.
bad neighborhood there.
Yeah, it's just like there are a neighborhood where this BRRRR will not work, but the others, I think we were open to any, but I think this one we got it from the module. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's good. Palak, can you speak to that? Like seriously,
Can I just say something here? Yes. Every time it has taken me a long time to take action, it's because I'm trying to get creative. I'm like, oh, but what about this? What if I tried it this way? And it's going to be so much more profitable because maybe this person hasn't thought of that. Mm-hmm. And then it takes forever because then you have all these options to choose from. And whenever I've been like, you know what, this works, let me just do this. And it's not as exciting and not as shiny and fun because
it feels unoriginal. I think that it feels unoriginal.
But that's okay. Easy. How could it be this easy? And I love that these guys are like, hey, here's a list. Forget everything else. We know this area. It's on the list. We're just going. I love that. And it's it's a big lesson for me too, because I'm always trying to be like creative with things. And it's like, you know what? Something works. Just go with it. I love that.
I think I'm like that too. And I think it's this orneriness. Maybe you think you're like, oh, like I'm going to try my own way, but then really it doesn't work.
We are so used to things being difficult, especially like making money and building wealth, because everybody's like, oh, work hard, and then we always think like, no, there's no way it could be this easy. No way it could be this straightforward. Yeah. But hey, sometimes things are that straightforward.
Yeah.
So accept it when that happens. So I love that. That's why you guys achieve success so fast, because
I did not realize. Yeah. So and Smita put it in the chat. She said the SOP to identify neighborhood for zip codes. So it's right there.
Right. Yeah. There are list of zip codes, right? And we are in Atlanta. So when we saw Atlanta on there, we thought this is a good zip code. Let's give it a try. But then it is from Chattanooga. So we are like, okay, let's go with that.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask another question then. So, okay. So you have the zip code. You have the realtor who's willing to put the zip codes in the little forms and then send you stuff. Can you talk about the process you did to using what Palak and Niti have taught? How did you figure out which one made money sense for you? And you said, okay, I want this one. Or did you just bid on all of them? Like what was your process to go from, okay, I have a list of houses, to these are the ones that I want to bid on, and then this eventually is the one I want to take?
Right. Initially, it was taking longer time to figure out if you want to look at this property or not, because, a realtor will send us the property. We'll put the numbers in the spreadsheet that we have, and see if, we are trying to figure out, what's the max we can spend on rehab in that property, basically, because that time when realtor sends property, we don't know what's the rehab cost will be. But we are going reverse, that, how much we can spend on this property, that this property will make sense. And initially we were reaching out to like 5 or 6 different GCs in Chattanooga, and we were not getting good response that they will go with our realtor and give us a rough estimate so we can make an offer. And that made us lose a lot of properties.
That time that you had to take with them.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So then we were just like, so impatient. We decided let's just start putting offer without worrying about rehab cost for now. And we'll handle that during the due diligence period. So that time we started with like one offer at a time. And that also didn't work. We lost like about 10 properties. And then we again become real impatient. And we started offering more than one at a time. And we got 2 offers accepted at the same time.
Wow.
And when I had 2 offers accepted, I reached out to the same contractors and they all were ready to go and check out the house and give us estimates. So within 2 days, out of 6, 5 of them went and looked at the property, gave us the rehab estimate.
And then, close to what you had anticipated?
They were like all very different range, from 50,000 to 82,000 on one house.
Yeah.
But we picked this another contractor who our realtor recommended. He's like a handyman, not a real general contractor, and he's not very techy.
Okay.
So only thing he can operate phone is for making calls and text message, but nothing else. But he knows a lot of people that if we need HVAC installed, he will find somebody. If we need electrician, he knows multiple electricians. So I talk to them and assign them work. So we kind of work like a GC for him.
So the 2 of you, or you maybe you, Mehul, you're the general contractor, but you have someone on the ground who seems to know people.
Right.
Yes.
How do you like that? How does that work out for you?
I mean, I would say, we are lucky that our handyman or contractor who is on the ground, he's really, really nice guy.
Okay.
And every time he will, like one of the 4 properties required HVAC, did not have HVAC before. So he reached out to 2 different contractors and got me 2 quotes. I spoke to both of them and I picked one of them. Same thing with electrician.
Yeah.
He will give me a couple of contacts and I reach out to them and they will give me quotes and I'll just say, this time you go, or another property I send somebody else.
Okay, this is a great question from Natasha. When you made multiple offers, 10 plus, did your realtor push back? Or because she works with a lot of investors, she understood your strategy, were the offers all within the same week?
Right. So this first 2 that got accepted at the same time, so we lost both of those houses initially when they were in the market. Then what I did was, there is a heart icon in Zillow against property. So when you click on it, saves the property in your account. And the benefit of saving that is anytime status changes, you get email immediately. So I had saved those both houses, and when they both went under contract, I lost those houses because I was trying to figure out bottom price. And when that came out of contract, I got email. And I reached out to my realtor saying these 2 houses are back. Can you make an offer with full price now? And she did it and we got both under contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we lost that because, I think we lost these 2 properties waiting for each other. So it's like, you do, okay, we gave offer for one. And then, we liked the second one, but we were worried that, okay, what if the first one will get accepted?
Mm-hmm.
And then we're waiting for first answer and we lost the second one and first one both. So next time when they both came, we said, okay, let's give offer together. So we put offer in a single day, same offer to same day offer to both of the properties. And I think next day they both got accepted on the same day.
Wow. And so, but then to Natasha's point, then the realtor's kind of doing a lot of work, and she was good with that. She's good with the paperwork.
She was fine.
She was
very fast, clearly.
Yeah, she was fast.
She was very fast. Yeah, initially I think she didn't work with the investor before, so I think she was kind of a little slower. And then, but then she noticed that, when she is not acting fast, I think we are losing the property because that market is very competitive in Chattanooga, right?
Yeah, good property sells the same day.
Same day. So she realized that. So after that, I think she was very quick to, as soon as the property comes, she goes there. And I think she was good to give 2 offers together at the end.
She's like, I'm not messing around. I want this. And
Yes.
And we got both under contract without rehab estimates.
wait, say that again, please, Mehul.
We got both properties under contract without rehab estimate because nobody was giving us estimate before getting under contract.
Okay.
And after getting
You estimated in your head what you thought it would be.
And we thought, we'll look at use due diligence period to get the rehab estimates. And if numbers don't work out, we'll come out.
Okay, lots of questions here. Given that you are the GC, Doreen wants to ask, how do you handle insurance?
Insurance,
like builder's insurance? I don't know if that's right.
Insurance doesn't require GC name.
I'm sorry?
Builder's risk insurance does not require GC name.
Okay.
So
liability. Doreen says liability.
Yeah, it does not require your GC name in the insurance. You just provide the amount that you want 300,000 liability. That's all.
I see. So it's not right.
It's not tied to the GC.
It's not. Yeah, it's tied to you still, no matter what it sounds like.
Right, tied to my company basically, LLC.
All right. As far as you getting two properties, these are the first two properties, right? The one that we're talking about right now. Financing wise, how were you able to do that? Did you do the hard money lender? Did you have the cash out of pocket? Okay, so you were able. They allowed you to do two at once.
Right. Yeah. I mean, typically hard money lenders. Brian is asked for more documentation. Okay. But Kiavi, Lima One, Easy Street, all they ask is how much liquid cash you have. Mm-hmm. And they give you pre-approval letter or proof of fund letter for 3 times the cash you have.
Okay.
As long as you can show the liquidity that you can pay down payment for both properties, they will fund.
Okay. And then as far as the rehabs, you then did 2 at one time.
Right.
Okay. And then talk me through, and I know we've got a question from Alex, but hold on just a second. So talk me through, you went from 0 to 2 rehabs and you're the GC. What was your week like? And you have 2 full-time jobs.
You're right. Yeah, so most of my communication with my realtor and contractor is through text messaging.
Really?
And take care of picking material, like, what flooring we're going to put and what colors, and purchasing appliances, all of that she take care of in the evening. But during the daytime, I'm always texting my contractor while working.
Multitasking.
So if I have 1 hour meeting schedule at work, but that meeting ended 45 minutes, then I have 15 minutes to communicate to my contractor.
So
not time.
All through texting. No talking on the phone. All texting. And then how did you divide what each of you would do? How did you divide that, Heta, you would do this, and how did you, there's a lot to do in a rehab. So how did you divide and conquer?
Right. See, her job is usually busy. So she doesn't get time during the daytime. So we have lunch hour is where we both work on our real estate portfolio, take care of things like responding to emails, whatever. And evening she does more deal analysis, picking up materials. If contractor has sent us pictures that these are 4 different flooring options, she'll decide which one to pick. Color choices, selections, all of that she takes care of. Any layout modifications she takes care of. And I take care of dealing with realtor, handling money with lenders and contractors, and all that I take care of.
Wow, that's great. Okay, let's talk numbers, if we may. So would you be willing to share with us the purchase price? And we know you didn't get a rehab estimate, but what the rehabs ended up being for your 2 properties and the ARVs.
Wow.
Thank you.
So first 2 properties, right? So one of them was purchase price of 120K. And rehab was around 44K we spent on it. Our estimate was 49, but we ended up spending about 44K.
That's great.
And ARV, we are expecting it to be around 215, 220, but we'll see next week. We are in the process of refinancing. And the second house was better deal out of those 2, which was purchase price was 115, and rehab was very minimum in that one. We spent about 26,000 in rehab.
Wow.
And that one we are expecting about 200K ARV.
That's amazing. Where are you on the rehabs for those? Are they done?
Those two both are done. We have tenant in place and we are working on refinancing both of them.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. I just want to take a moment. That's amazing. Congratulations. How did you feel after those first two? It was a lot of work, but how did you
Very
feel?
confident.
What'd you say?
Very confident, and we
confident.
can take a lot more risk now. That's what we felt.
Wow.
And we
Okay.
felt like, we should always do two at a time.
Yeah.
So whoever is scared on the call, right? I think so. It took 4 months, but in 4 months we got two done. So if electrician is waiting on something at one property, he can go work on another one. If my contractor is done flooring at one place, he can go do flooring on another day, say next week or whatever. So everything goes, together. Like if he goes out for purchasing material, he purchases for both houses. So
I can't believe you just said we should always do two at a time.
yeah, that's what I mean, even after completing those, our goal was to buy two, but didn't happen. But going forward, our goal is definitely to do two at a time.
Amazing.
Because it makes a lot of things simple, like buying paint, buying any kind of flooring material, appliances.
Okay.
Like none of the contractor resources are idle.
I had to pick just one time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You picked it once and bought it for both. Oh,
Right.
very good. Very
These
good.
are all scaling strategies, right? Eventually
Yeah.
doing 5 at a time instead of
It's
2.
much more efficient
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
terms of resources.
Absolutely. And I like that you're starting with 2 at a time and not 5, because then it's lower risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still
And
trying
they're
to
like
figure it out.
0.6 mile apart. So
Amazing. They can just go back and
contractor-
forth.
Yeah, go back and forth easily.
The paint is drying here. Why don't you go there and get
Right,
it?
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that contractor doesn't accept any other job because he's so busy with two properties.
Oh, that's a
Right
good
now,
point.
one
If you-
property he's like doing. Recently, he went for 1 week to build somebody's barn in the farmhouse. So we were like, okay, 1 week, no progress.
Yeah.
What was your involvement in person for all of this? So I know you are only an hour and a half away, but when did you take the drive, or do you take the drive all the time?
Yeah, many times we have been there.
Oh, okay. So I mean, you're pretty hands-on and hands in. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Like
right.
a lot of Saturday or weekend we go there. But only one of us will drive, not both
Yeah.
of us.
Divide
Yeah,
and conquer.
sometimes he will go alone, or sometimes I will go
Yeah,
alone.
we both go together when we will have to to take decision on layout.
Layout. So
on
when we
making-
buy new property, like the fourth one we bought last week, so weekend we were there to figure out how it's 2 bedroom, 1 bath, but there is enough room to create third one and second bath. So what layout changes we need to make, where to put third bedroom, where to put second bath. So those cases we both will go, but otherwise one of us will go there and meet with contractor.
Oh, exciting. That's awesome. I know Palak has a question. Sorry.
Yeah, I have a question about, just working together as a couple. What has been like the biggest, Heta already has a smile on her face. She's like, I know what she's going to ask me. What has been like one of the things that maybe was challenging for you to work together, and how did you find a solution? What was it that?
I don't think she had any challenge working with me.
Because you're perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Did you have any
Why would I-
with me?
No, we have like different area of focus, right? So if she says, let's do this paint, then I'm not going to argue with her. Or if she says, let's pick this flooring, then this LVP out of this 5 or 6.
Oh, so you're
not gonna
serious
argue.
that you did not have a lot of chat. I thought you were being sarcastic. Oh,
No.
that's amazing.
I mean it that I'm perfect.
I've never actually heard that anyone say that, but it's all good.
I love it. So you guys, I mean, I can tell even by the way you come across here too, that you guys kind of have a very smooth way of working together.
Yeah.
That's just the way you're proceeding through discussing. So I can tell.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting how you've kind of figured out a way to just fall into place when it comes to your roles
Yeah.
in investing. And I love that. That's awesome.
That's so good.
What do you
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did you decide who was doing what?
I picked what I wanted to do. So the rest is his.
The rest he had to do. Oh, that's easy. I love that.
Okay, that's great. I'm gonna.
I just decided I was going to do this, and then you take over everything else.
We've got a question.
It's like my job is like, he's good at multitasking, and also my job is very involving. It's, morning to afternoon, evening, right? So if he has to do like, if we see that, he contractor has asked something or something, like, he needs some, like he's going to purchase Home Depot and we have to pay, like, I have been always meeting. So, he takes care of that. So that's how, like, it just naturally followed after we started that, whatever comes up in between, or, answering the question from lender or anything, like, he can take care of it, multitasking in between or maybe during lunchtime. But for me, like, I normally do my work in lunchtime or in the evening, right? So that's kind of not like required, like you need at a time this answer, we need it in an hour, then it is his work.
Right.
And then
based on availability, like you available, yeah.
Availability. And then, first couple of months it worked like that, availability. And then, it becomes, okay, now I'm doing everything like this and he is doing all the work related to finances. That's how.
Yeah. Okay. So Cheryl, I have one more question that I thought of earlier as they were talking. So Mehul, I know you said, I thought it was so interesting. He said something like, I have a 45-minute meeting. I have 15 minutes and I'm going to get this done. Right. And that's how you operate. So to a lot of people, that may seem like you're constantly going and it's hard to stay productive at all times. If I have a 45-minute meeting and I have 15 minutes before the next meeting, I'm going to go get a snack. I'm not like trying to answer phone calls. So I want to know, like, how do you maintain that kind of momentum throughout the day? How do you kind of not feel burnt out by the end of the day, right? You guys do, is that a question that
he's a yoga teacher.
Are you the yoga teacher?
Yeah, he's a yoga teacher.
I'm a yoga teacher. Yeah, I think
that helps meditation.
Yeah. So if you
really
notice when
everything I do, I enjoy. So I don't feel burned out or anything. It's just doing with a lot of fun, and
so he is very calm. He doesn't have the anxieties. If I can say about myself, like if I have to do 4 things together, I become anxious. He doesn't. Like he's very calm. So that's why he can maintain, like, he can do like multitasking very easily.
Yeah, that's
focus really, like going from work meeting to talking to contractor, talking to lender, and go back to work. I can switch quickly, and
you can switch quickly. Okay. How do you stay organized with all your thoughts and all your numbers and everything going from one thing to another? Do you maintain spreadsheets? Do you have like paper files? What do you do?
Yeah, we have a spreadsheet for each property, as well as, so it's one spreadsheet with multiple tabs. One is what is our LLC level expense, and then what is each property level expenses. And since, we are like GC, so we have pro account with Home Depot and Lowe's. So that's another thing, like, everybody can probably, apply for that pro account at Home Depot, get their commercial credit card. The benefit of that is whatever my contractor goes and purchase from Home Depot, Home Depot person will call me from the store. I pay on Home Depot's card, and then I have, 50-60 days to pay off that money. So that way, I can do less number of draws from my lender and avoid the draw fee and all that. So, and also with Home Depot, if you have extra cash, then pay off that money within 20 days, you get 2% discount or flat on everything.
Oh, that's great.
That saves a lot of money.
They charge you 2% less if you pay within 20
days. If you pay within 20 days.
Okay.
So if I get...
You only get the points, but you get 2 additional points if you pay it off with...
So that's like flat discount of 10% on your bill itself.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty great.
You are a GC on your project. And Cheryl, last question, then I'll let you go on. You're the GC on your project. You are doing multiple rehabs at the same time. You have a full-time job and you're also a yoga teacher.
Yeah.
So for anyone, Melissa is smiling. Anybody who is listening to this, if they are wondering, like, how does he do all of this? I'm saying he because it sounds like he manages things during the day, right, Mehul? So,
I mean, there is evening time as well, but
having 2 active kids also.
And
two kids? I didn't even know that.
Who play sports, you have to drive them everywhere.
Sure.
Wow.
Yeah. And there is really no right or wrong answer to this. This comes up all the time, productivity, right? So how do you, I know you said you're meditative and what's like a mindset advice for anybody who's trying to balance all of this? What's like words of wisdom for someone else trying to do this and manage everything all at the same time? I see a lot of smiles when I ask that question.
Not very philosophical, but yeah, I mean, everything is possible, right? Anybody who is scared to get first house, don't think, I would say, too much. Get into it. It's like swimming, you can't sit outside and learn swimming, right? You have to get in the water. So,
so good.
Yeah, it's same thing here. You have to get your first property. Like in our case, we got 2 properties. One of them is we are probably going to leave 25,000 in that property.
Okay.
But second one was better out of those 2. Third one is little better than that. And fourth one is even better. So it just, and even with the fourth one, we are learning so much. So, get one house, get the experience, get the learning first, and then you will be definitely do much better in the second, third, fourth properties.
I'm so glad you said that about leaving 25K in the first one and then progressively doing better deals leading up to your fourth one. Because I think when people are starting out and you hear Sensei Sessions and everybody talk about like, I'm on my $1 million portfolio, suddenly you feel like, wow, they must be perfect from day one. So it's always nice to hear how people progressively got better. And then there are some people like Natasha who make 100 first deal. Like
That's
there is a range, right? We're all different. Everybody has their own journey. In the end, what you're trying to do is build wealth, and we all do it differently based on how much time we have, based on our mindset, what we zeroed in on. So love that. Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
I want to get to your properties 3 and 4 before we go, because we got a lot of questions, but I want to pause on those just a moment, because as you've gotten more experience through this program, what happened with 3 and 4? So 1 and 2, you said you're refinancing. You're in that stage right now. You're waiting for the appraisals. So how did you were you always looking then for your next?
Yeah.
Okay. So talk about that. Talk about that.
We are constantly looking for third one, fourth one. And we got third one through wholesaler. So that was another different experience we had. It was first time we bought from wholesaler, and it was through probate. So the lady who was living in the house had passed away and the kids were trying to sell it. So we got a lot of different experience with that purchase. But it went smooth, no major issues. But this was like first time we were buying through wholesaler, and it was in the probate. So we were somewhat nervous about that property. But
will you do that again? Will you go through a wholesaler again?
Yes.
Yeah, we will go. Yeah, there is nothing wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
It just works differently. I mean, in traditional purchase, through MLS, you have opportunity to come out of the deal during due diligence. Here, you don't have that, or you lose. And in traditional purchase, you can put 1,000 earnest money. Here, they will ask 5,000, 7,500, something like a large amount, right? So a lot more money at risk, but it works out well. So you have to do all your due diligence upfront before you place an offer. So
as I'm hearing what you're talking about, I love this, by the way. It feels like, and I use the word, I'm going to use the word adventurous. Do you consider yourself adventurous, or is it, as Palak was talking about, just like a mindset thing? I mean, to go with 2 properties at once and then to move to a wholesaler. You know what I mean? Like these are all like, the whole thing is adventurous, but like.
We are risk takers, we got married after talking 5 minutes. So.
Well, there you go.
We can take a risk, I guess.
Okay. This basically permeates your entire life. Okay, I get it now. That's all. I just wanted to get that down. Okay. So do you have something that you want to add to that, Heta? What do you say? Okay.
No, no, I don't know. Miss, yeah, it was like, it was different, right? Miss Wholesaler, the deal which we did with the wholesaler was different than MLS, but we can still do it. Means, you have to do all the due diligence before, right? So I think
after doing 2 properties, we knew the process, right? So it was easy to go.
Yeah, and all the modules which we went through, I think that all gave us confidence. So it was whatever, we say we are risk takers. We bought 2 properties, but yeah, it was a calculated risk. It was not like we just went, right?
Yeah.
Even if you buy 1 property, means it's a calculated risk, right? So it's not like that, but and we did went through, I think for almost 2 or 3 months, like we did, I think so many eventually we were better, I think I have used that that calculation Excel sheet a lot. Like now I can even do that in my mind. That many times I have used that in first 3 months, right?
Yeah, right now we are at a state when we look at the property, looking at the picture, we know roughly how much will it cost, and we do calculation in our mind.
I can see them actually in the mind, and I can see that spreadsheet in front of my eyes. I don't have to open it up. That many times I have done that calculations for different properties, and that's after that we were comfortable to sign 2 contracts together. So.
Wow. Okay. For those of you who are seasoned and have done this calculation so many times, can you put in the chat, let me know if you feel the same way? Like you don't even need the spreadsheet anymore because you can do it in your head or whatever, on your phone or whatever. So just let me know. Okay. Got some.
Right. Other thing on the spreadsheet is like, where we put 10% soft cost, that's usually all 3 properties so far, it's little less than 10%. So whoever is like, sticking so much on the numbers, there is some room. So
no, there is some room. And also I think when you are doing this first time, like in a starting, like you always feel that. And I have seen it so many times, from Palak and Niti that they have
it all the time.
They have added so much room. So don't add on top of that.
Right.
So I can say my experience that when I was doing initially, like I was always thinking, no, but maybe I should keep this room. But now looking at the calculation, I think,
all 3 properties,
should not be
quite well under 10% soft cost.
Yeah.
So
a wiggle. You got a lot of wiggle.
Yeah, there is wiggle. So, don't add anything on top of the spreadsheet.
I mean, you can keep 10% because everybody's property, everybody's situation, everything is different. But at least I think you don't need more than 10%. That's what we have.
I'm glad, Heta, you brought it up. That's exactly what I came here to add. That we have made all the numbers very conservative. So, we're adding 50% contingency to the construction budget, 10%, all the soft costs, everything. Now, if you go in and add your extra conservative on top of that, none of the deals will work. So that's exactly what I came to say. And so I appreciate that. I mean, I'd rather that if you're leaving money in the deal, I'd rather that you go into it knowing that. That's why we've done it that way. But I'm glad it's working out the way we intended it to.
I love it. Okay, I want to hear about property 4 then, because we got 3 and then 4 came shortly after 3, or how did that work out?
No, our 3rd one is almost done. We are waiting on appliances to be delivered, and for some reason Home Depot kept delaying it. So we received it 2 days ago. Appliances and blinds from Home Depot.
Yeah.
So it's almost done. So we were looking for 4th one, and we closed last Thursday.
Hey, Dina, what's up?
Okay. If you
doing good.
If you could leave, please, if you're not Heta or Mehul, that would be awesome. So tell me about property 4. Is that something different too?
It's in different zip code. It's still in Chattanooga, but we got it in different zip code this time.
Yeah, it's
And
just, but it's just 5-7 minutes, right?
yeah,
Difference
it's
is
closer to downtown. So when we looked at Section 8 rent, it was 500 more than other three properties. But it was just like 5-7 minutes from where we have other three properties.
And this one, I think you said you were adding a room, right? I think,
Yes,
if I remember correctly.
yeah.
So let's talk about prices. 3 and 4, what are your prices and why you think you'll be able to take more money out than you did for the first 2?
Right. So third one is also 120K, just like our first one. And rehab will be also similar to first one, about 45K. But first one was like a little over 1,000 square feet. The third one is 1,700 square feet. So probably we are expecting about 230 plus ARV. So it will be little better than our first 2, I think.
Nice.
And fourth one is 1,200 square feet. We paid 130K. Rehab wise, it's almost we can use it as is, but since we are trying to add a room and another bath, probably rehab will be around 35 to 40K. But that area is much closer to downtown where there is hospital and University of Tennessee and other things. So ARV will be little bit higher than other three properties.
And
So
rent also.
the rent is also
Yeah.
like, Section 8 is 500 more. So we are expecting probably better
Yeah,
rent
that's
for ARV.
amazing. Okay, I have a lot of comments for you. Hold on. Alex has a question. So this was back to when we were talking about your searching for your first 2 properties. And he says, when we're doing the deal analysis and find a property that has a good deal potential, but isn't quite there with the numbers, do you recommend that we favorite the property in Zillow so that we get alerts when something about the listing has changed? Then we can reassess and determine if now has become a good idea. If this has been a good deal. That's a great idea, but I wanted to make sure I heard it correctly.
Right.
Yes.
So if once you save the property, if its price drops or it goes under contract, comes out of contract, any status changes, you will be notified immediately via email.
Yeah, very cool. Putin says, you have motivated and given me new goals for myself. Smart. Smita asks, did you stick to the finishes that are laid out in the module or did you pick your own finishes?
We use that as a reference, but then like in terms of LVP and other things, wherever our contractor went, he will give us few options or he will send us video or pictures of the LVP and then we pick one of those. And I don't know, he goes to like really random places and gets really cheap stuff that he knows, like very local places in Chattanooga, around Chattanooga. Like cabinets, like windows, for example, in our first property, we replaced 12 windows. And all GCs were saying about $8,000 to $10,000 for window replacement. And this guy did it for like 2,800. So he just goes to like this local places and finds these good deals for us.
Right. Thankfully, he's on your side. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's very nice.
Yeah, and I think wall colors, this community helped us, right?
Yeah, right.
Everybody.
Vanessa and
Vanessa and
Randy, they all helped. I put a question in our Facebook group and they all responded what interior color they have used.
And I think we have seen their properties pictures and we like that. So,
we just went with their suggestions.
Yeah.
I mean, don't reinvent the wheel, right?
Right.
As we were talking earlier, if you're going to use the zip codes, might as well use the same colors on the wall.
Right.
So good. Share your takeaways, what you're getting from this power couple, please. Poonam says, biggest takeaway, dive in and you will learn, just like swimming. Russell would like those multitasking skills and your brain. Don't be afraid to jump in, even if it means doing 2 deals at once. Natasha said, using Home Depot and or Lowe's card to manage cash flow to minimize draws from the hard money lender. Yeah, that's great. I've been noticing that conversation in the Facebook group about the hard money lender and the draws. So I think that's an interesting conversation to continue. Anna Randy said, sorry to have to run. Love to see how you both interact. You're great and you're on fire. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and experience. Russell says, don't overthink things and the back-end business setup doesn't need to be perfect. Kendra has appreciated the efficiency of doing multiple properties at once, their just do it attitude and due diligence, that they made it happen, even if it meant not having a GC estimate. Love their humor, confidence, and hearing their process. Smita says you can't learn to swim sitting outside of the pool, jump in. Love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Smita says second takeaway is that Mehul is perfect. Please say that, Heta. I don't know if you're going to live that down. I'm just saying, I'm not really sure. Let's see. Alex says definitely the multitasking. When one property is down the road to rehab, start placing offers on the next place. Moving along is the greatest takeaway. Amazing.
And it always takes time to get another property, right? So don't wait till first one is done, because then you will have idle time in between. So instead of that, start looking for while first one is in rehab. So by the time first one is done, you have second one in the pipeline.
Even if you don't buy it, at least you stay in touch that what is going on in that area, right? That what is coming, what is going. So when you are ready, so we always try to look, even if we say right now we are thinking that now next one maybe let's just finish, like we have so much going on, like 2 properties we are trying to refinance. One we will give it to GC. The 4th one we will start rehab. So we are like, okay, let's see, like we will wait until we finish the refinancing, right?
It's just
But
too much
still,
right now.
Still, we our realtor is sending us property and we are analyzing the deals. So we stay in touch. So
Yeah, this fourth one we have new realtor now.
Oh, so yeah, that was going to ask, but you're not with realtor number 1 anymore. Right. You've got a new person. How did you find this person, and this person have helped you find property for?
She found us.
She found us. So her grandma lives right next to our property number 3. So she reached out to my contractor working there and got my number.
Track you down.
And she is very new to real estate, and she's very eager to earn money, right? Or increase or become successful,
has that
right?
hunger.
She has that hunger. So
yeah,
every morning, not every morning, throughout the day, if there is new property listed, I immediately get text message from her. So she has, and if I tell her that I want to see this property within 2 hours, she's there. So it really helps. And after learning, going through the modules, and with this community, you have a lot of knowledge that you can gain, right? Then you probably don't need really knowledgeable or real estate friendly, investor friendly realtor, right? You just need somebody who can act really quickly to get the property under contract. That's all you need. So.
That is so interesting, because your actions in Chattanooga then are getting attention. And so people are now trying to get your business. It's interesting how that shifted, right? Where in the beginning you're like interviewing people and, oh, I need to get this. But now your work in that community is getting you recognized, if you will. Sachin said, the takeaway is that how well you leverage the community and collective knowledge, which I think we've definitely seen that. We've definitely seen that. And Anna Molina said, that is a smart realtor. Love her strategy of taking to the GC, talking to the GC in action and then tracking the investors. That's actually very smart. Very, very smart.
And that impressed me. That's why I decided to work with her.
Right. I mean, and clearly she's giving you something to think about for deals, 5 and 6, whenever you're ready for them.
Yeah.
So what is your future? Like, what is your goal, I guess? Your future plan? Like, what is your goal to make all this into?
So our goal for this year was 1 million portfolio. Our goal is not based on number of units. And next year or next 5 years, we want to do 2 million a year. That's the goal.
2 million.
I don't know if it will happen or not, but and next year we definitely want to expand to another city instead of just Chattanooga. So we'll see how that goes. We
will see how that goes. Thank you so much to the two of you for your time, your energy, your spontaneity, your fun. I think we've all gotten a lot out of this, and just thank you, Heta and Mehul. We really appreciate your time and your knowledge.
And we really want to thank Palak, Niti, Ann and Randy, Remy and Sarah, Vanessa, Kimberly. I don't know if I forgot somebody who helped me, but all these people were really, really helpful to us.
Yeah.
And all of their Sensei sessions were really motivational to us.
Natasha.
Yeah, and Natasha as well, right? So thank you guys. Thanks all of you guys for all the support.